Thursday greetings and thank you for joining us tonight for yet another edition of Primetime News. I'm Michael Madimba. We begin with the presidency. President Dr. Hage Geingob says since independence, more than 500,000 Namibians have been lifted out of severe poverty via the comprehensive social safety net programs. Wakutura Kambayekwa compiled our first report.
Geingob made these remarks during the African Green Revolution Forum Presidential 2021 Summit underway in Nairobi, Kenya, under the theme Pathways to Recovery and Resilient Food Systems, where heads of state and government drawn from the sub-Saharan African region have also reiterated their commitment to food security consensus as part of rampant recovery. Geingob stated that during this administration's first term in office, the Food Bank program was rolled out across all regions, reaching 42,081 Namibians, while the Drought Relief Program reached over 2.8 million Namibians cumulatively. Geingob added, during this period, no Namibian was reported to have died from hunger, despite the country enduring one of the worst droughts in recent history. According to the October 2020 Socio-Economic Impact Assessment of COVID-19 in Namibia, overall poverty is expected to increase by an estimated 4.2% as a result of loss of income. He said, "We have thus responded by resolving to revise and convert the food bank and special feeding scheme for marginalized communities into a monthly cash transfer as the first step to phase into a conditional basic income grant." To complement the social safety net program, Geingob stated that Namibia will promote and facilitate the infusion of private strategic investments into the agricultural sector, noting that this ambition will contribute to the national goals of bolstering food security and self-sufficiency. Selima Shimwefeleni reporting for Nampa News.
The Windhoek Municipal Council has approved the establishment of a company that will focus on land and housing delivery with the aim of fast-tracking service delivery and to eliminate bureaucracy. Erasmus Shalihakwe filed the story.
Windhoek Mayor Job Amupanda announced the establishment of the company on Tuesday during a media briefing where he announced the outcome of a land and housing workshop the city councillors attended from 30th August until 3rd September 2021. He said one of the challenges the city of Windhoek faces is service delivery, especially with regards to service land and housing, as well as the implementation of council resolutions. The mayor said some city officials in administration department sometimes want to first get kickbacks in order to process applications. Amupanda said the company will be called Nova Actors Holdings and is going to help cut out the middlemen. The company is registered to deal with land and housing development. The mayor also announced that City of Windhoek is in negotiations with the central government on the swapping or writing off of historical debts amounting to 7 million Namibia dollars that the city owes the government. Amupanda explained that once the debt is written off, the municipality's liquidity will improve.
Moving on to environmental matters. Minister of Environment, Forestry and Tourism Pohamba Shifeta has announced that vegetation on 580,480 hectares of land was destroyed by veld fires countrywide between May and September this year.
Shifeta made these remarks in Parliament on Wednesday while providing an update on veld fires that have been burning across the country for months. He said Namibia has witnessed devastating fires that have threatened lives, property, degradation of the natural environment, destruction of crops, livestock and game fatalities. The frequency, intensity and extent of veld fires annually has become a serious concern for the ministry, which has made continuous calls on the public and other stakeholders to prevent the occurrence and spread of fires, he added.
The most prone regions are Kabango East, Kabango West, Oseronjupa, Skoto, Zambezi, Pangwena, Kunene, Oshana, Msati, Komas, Hardap, and Omaike. This alone, a total of 580,408 hectares
A number of goats, cattle, and cattle posts were also destroyed in the Omusati region, while in Khomas, veld fires were reported on 25 farms and great numbers of livestock and game died. One person has also died and 4 people were severely injured.
Fire is an important tool for people throughout the country, you all know, as it provides benefit for agricultural, forestry practices. However, fire remains a major threat with regard to the conservation of our forest resources, while ultimately affecting grazing and other socio-economic benefits our people derive from the forest. It is worrisome to observe that the country continues to report fire incidences, destroying properties and environment and putting people's lives and livelihood in danger.
He added that the reduction of forest fires should be considered an issue of national importance by all role players, particularly land and property owners. Salima Shiwenfeleni reporting for Nampa News.
National Council Chairperson Lucas Sinimbo Muha says the Namibian government believes that gender equality and empowerment of women and girls are crucial for the country's development.
Muha made these remarks during a panel discussion of the Interparliamentary Union 5th World Conference of Speakers of Parliament in Vienna, Austria, which took place from 6 to 8 September 2021 under the topic "Repealing Laws That Discriminate Against Women and Girls is the Only Path Towards Achieving Gender Equality." He said to ensure that Namibian women and girls have equal opportunities to participate in socio-economic and political life, provision is made in Article 10 and 23 of the Namibian Constitution discouraging discrimination against women and promoting women's participation in the political, social, and economic life. Muha noted that, in addition to the Constitution, the government has enacted several gender-related laws such as the Married Persons Equality Act, Labour Act, Combating of Rape Act, Domestic Violence Act, Maintenance Act, Prevention of Organised Crime Act, Child Care and Protection Act, and Combating of Trafficking in Persons Act. Through implementation of these instruments, Namibia made notable progress in the area of education, health, politics, and governance. Apart from politics, Namibian women have entered economic industries which were previously male-dominated. He added that despite these opportunities that some Namibian women have, they still face challenges such as poverty, gender-based violence, and lack of economic opportunities, and these downfalls were worsened by the COVID-19 pandemic and lockdowns.
Stand by for your top roundup. In the business and economic segment, we begin with bilateral relations. The 5th session of the Namibia-Cuba Virtual Joint Working Group, aimed at reviewing bilateral cooperation between the two countries, commenced on Wednesday.
The meeting is chaired by Namibia's Deputy Minister of International Relations and Cooperations, Janelle Matundu, and Cuba's Deputy Minister of Foreign Trade and Investment, Deborah Rivas Sevandra. Matundu stated that the meeting is testimony of an extraordinary friendship between the people of Namibia and Cuba. Matundu mentioned that the Cuban government has made a significant contribution to Namibia's education system while also enriching the country's human capacity and contributing to its development efforts. Sevandra said, "It is imperative for the two countries to work together towards a common goal, which is to yield positive results in terms of development." The Cuban minister also said her government will continue to assist Namibia in its development.
Still on bilateral matters, Indonesia's ambassador to Namibia, Wisnu Edi Pratinho says trade between Indonesia and Namibia remains low and there is need to increase and diversify trade and investment between the two countries.
Pratigno, while officially opening a business forum in the capital on Wednesday, said the close ties between the two countries are not accompanied by significant progress in the economic sector. The one-day business forum was hosted by the Embassy of the Republic of Indonesia to commemorate the 30th anniversary of the establishment of diplomatic relations between Indonesia and Namibia. Pratigno said, for the two countries to improve trade and investment, the two presidents during the bilateral talks in August 2018 agreed to explore economic opportunities not only by way of trade and investment cooperation, but also in the sector of agriculture, tourism and infrastructure development. Ludret's mayor, Anna-Marie Hettenberg, pledged the Ludret's local authorities' commitment to work, support and cooperate with the people of Indonesia in addressing the challenges hampering the progress of the local economy.
Join us after the break. It's time for the weather forecast, followed by the sports update with my colleague Selima Shimwefeleni.
Good evening and welcome to Sport Planet. I'm Selima Shimwefeleni. We start with funding matters. Namibia's first ever Olympic medalist, Frankie Fredericks, has called for improved funding for sports in order for Namibia to be competitive against major countries in sporting competitions. Marco Ndlovu compiled this report.
Fredericks was speaking at the Hosea Kutako International Airport on Wednesday after Namibia's Paralympics team arrived from the just-ended 2020 Paralympic Games in Japan. Fredericks said,
"The thing that stood out for me at the Games was when, after Ananias won his medal and they were in the bus, and I could see the team spirit when they started singing as a unity in the team. That brought back to me, because I think it was one of these trouble songs that we sing, that we have won the battle. And it took me back to when I was a young boy in Katutura. The struggles I went through and what I have achieved. I think this is the inspiration that these athletes have instilled in us.
However, Frederick said as much as he tried assisting one of the athletes, Johannes Nambala, by sponsoring him with 250,000 Namibian dollars as preparation allowance, that was not enough. Frederick said, "It sounds like a lot of money, but if you think of 5 years of somebody training for a medal, it is little. We have to continue to try and support and give more to these athletes."
To encourage them, because I know coming back home, you're going back home tonight. Tomorrow, you don't know how you're going to pay your bills. You're not sure how you're going to pay your water. You're not sure how you're going to pay your rent. So I just want to make a small pledge from myself and from the foundation that I'm pledging 20,000 to each athlete and 10,000 to each of the supporting staff, the guides and the coaches. So I think I'm pledging 100,000.
The Namibian Paralympic team bagged 2 medals at the Tokyo Games, with Nambala winning a bronze medal in the men's T13 400 meter and Ananis Shukongo bagging a silver medal in the men's T11 400 meter.
Moving on to volleyball. The Far North Volleyball Association Secretary General, Festus Hamukwaya, said the 2021 volleyball season is slated to continue with its activities in Ondangwa this coming Saturday. Matthews Hamunyela compiled this report.
The Far North Volleyball Association games started in April, but had to be stopped due to COVID-19 regulations, which barred contact sports. In an interview with Nampa on Wednesday, Hamukwaya said the league will commence with its second leg at the tennis courts in Ondangwa, in light of the fact that government has once again permitted contact sports. Hamukwaya said, "Our league games will start this coming Saturday, and we're going to put strict measures in place around the court. We are requesting all players and supporters to abide by the COVID-19 regulations. To help curb the spread of the virus, only teams and match officials scheduled for a particular time will be allowed to enter the court during playing time." Medipark Volleyball Club from Ongwediva will face Ekuku Volleyball Club from Oshakati in the first game of the day, while Nakapele Volleyball Club from Ongwediva will play against 6 Stars from Ondangwa in the second game. The third game will see a women's team in action, with Oshana Namibian Police Volleyball Club going up against 6 Stars in the only game slated for the women's category. The Namibia Correctional Services Volleyball Club will have to overcome Oshikoto Namibia Police if they want to continue being the log leaders in the second leg. Nakapele Volleyball Club and Ekuku Volleyball Club will close off the day. The Far North Volleyball Association season is expected to end on 30 October 2021, Hamukwaya added.
Your sports roundup is up next. And with that, we've come to the end of tonight's bulletin. Many thanks for tuning in. If you're new to this channel, please subscribe, like, share, and click on the notifications bell to stay up to date with the latest happenings locally and globally. Do add your comments as well in the comment section. From myself, Salima Shumwefeleni, and the entire production crew, it's good night.